Shalom Aleichem, everyone. A good Tevach. We're in a new week over here of the Pele Yoetz, day number 168. New chapter, Derech Eretz, common courtesy, proper behavior between you and your fellow man. Derech Eretz, Rabu, Se'ifav, Upratov. Derech Eretz has many subcategories and details. Torah's Derech Eretz Arucha Me'eresh, the Torah, meaning the teaching of Derech Eretz, how to behave in the proper way, is very long, longer than the entire earth itself. Halahi Ksuva B'div Rabbi Seinazal Meseches Derech Eretz, and Chazal even wrote a whole Mesechta called Derech Eretz. V'oi ba Meforsh B'sifei Bali Musar, Derech Eretz, the proper behavior, the courtesy between you and your fellow man, is spoken about and explained in the Bali Musar. Kegoin Sefer HaKadosh Reishis Chachma, like it says in the Sefer Reishis Chachma, B'Sefer at the end over there, B'Sefer Shnei Luches Habris. So too in the work Shnei Luches Habris by the Shlah HaKadosh, B'Sefer Shevet Musar, and in the Sefer Shevet Musar. B'Tzavos HaMechunos Rabbi Eliezer HaGadol, where he brings down over there the last will and testament of Rabbi Eliezer HaGadol, as he explains what Derech Eretz really is all about. Who is the man who truly desires life, that he will search very diligently in order to guard the pathway to Derech Eitz Chaim, the pathway to the tree of life, and he's calling this, if you have Derech Eretz, so then you have reached the tree of life. Ki be'emes amru, it says in Chazal, Derech Eretz kodma l'Torah, Derech Eretz precedes the Torah. Meaning before you can even be classified as a real, full-fledged Talmid Chacham, that you can be a tzaddik of sorts, you have to have mastered at Derech Eretz the way in which you're going to interface with other people. Ubifrat mishu begeret Talmid Chacham, and certainly someone who is within the realm of a Talmid Chacham, im ein by Derech Eretz, if he does not have within him Derech Eretz, he doesn't treat people in the right way, zemechalel es Hashem es HaTorah, he desecrates HaKadosh Baruch Hu and the Torah, because people will say, this is a person who's a Talmid Chacham, this is a person who has so much Torah under their belt, this is a person who can give shiurim, and he can say deep concepts in the Gemara, in Lamdis, and this and in that. He doesn't have proper common Derech Eretz with another person. What's wrong with the Torah if this is the way the person is acting? The Shanina, we learned in Pirkei Avos, Kol shiruach habrios noichai menu, anyone that people are pleased with him, people are at ease with him, Ruach HaMakom Noicha Menu, that means that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is pleased with him as well. If you have good Derech Eretz, and people enjoy your company, and you make people feel good and comfortable, and people are like, whoa, that person, we like that person, then you don't have to worry, HaKadosh Baruch Hu likes you as well. This is a major general principle in Derech Eretz. Sheyaseh ha'toiv v'hayosha be'enei Elokim v'adam. You have to do what is good and what is yosha, what is straight, in the eyes of Elokim and of man. You should nullify your will in front of the will of others, in order to make sure that your daita, that your thoughts and your mind and yourself is mu'uriv, you are pleasing and you are mixed well with the brios, with other people. And as much as a person learns the ways of Derech Eretz, you still will not fulfill your obligation until you are a wise person and you understand things on your own. These are things, Derech Eretz, how to treat other people and interact with them, is something that has no share, there's no limit of what you could accomplish and learn. Everything goes according to the place. Ulefi Azman, and the time. Ulefi Mashu Adam, and what according to the person themselves. You have to act with each person according to their midos, to their traits, to their character, to who they are. You have to understand them very well. You have to go all the way down to understand them deeply. You should make his will like your will. As long as this person is not going against the Creator, against HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Says the Pele Yoetz, Derech Eretz is very, very far-reaching. And a person should do everything within their abilities to try to make it that they are mu'urav imabriyos, they are very pleasant, and they mix very well, they get along. You know those people that they get along with everybody? This guy can be everybody's best friend. That's the way of Derech Eretz. You are comfortable, you make other people comfortable, it's comfortable to be around you, people enjoy your company. All of that, he's saying, is the proper way of Derech Eretz. A person always has to love the Shema, the maybe. What is the maybe? You have to be chayshesh, you have to be concerned and suspicious of yourself that Shema, maybe you are actually weighing down on your friend. And therefore how precious are the words of Shlomo Melech. Allah Shalom Shalom, he said, your feet should be scarce in the house of your friend, which means do not overburden your friends with your presence. And listen what he says. Sometimes a person thinks, let me go be mechaber, let me go honor and respect my friend. Let him know that he really means something to me. And then you end up going there. And you sit there for many hours on end. And you have no idea what is in the heart of your friend. He's thinking to himself, when is this guy going to leave my house already? Doesn't he get it? I got stuff to do and this guy's holding me back over here. You think you're showing him derech eretz, you're showing him how much you appreciate him and how much you mechabed him and you honor him. So you go and you sit down and you start schmoozing with him, and he's like, keeps looking at his watch. You just don't get the point. He's thinking to himself, are you ever going to leave me alone? I have to leave. Sometimes your own words of you coming to this person are heavier than a heavy burden and a weight that's on him. Sometimes you're a big complainer and he's tired of hearing you complain about things. Or maybe you're just very long-winded in conversation. You know those people that they just talk and talk and talk, and you try to get a word, no, they just keep talking. They just keep talking. And they explain everything. You already heard this story 1,000 times already. And sometimes your friend comes over and he starts asking things about private matters that you don't feel like sharing your private world, your private information, and he's like prying and he's like digging in, trying to figure things out. And many things similar to this, says the Pele Yoetz, you could end up making a very big mistake. You could think that you're doing a nice thing by visiting your friend. In the end, you're driving the guy crazy. That's not derech eretz. And therefore, everybody has to do with every wise person has to do with das, with proper understanding. Your words should be sweet and pleasant to those that are listening. And they should be less words. Mu'atim, you should be concise in your words. So that people should not be bothered by what you're saying. And he writes over here, even the Darshanim, Rabbanim, and the like, they get up and give drashas. You have to be very careful. Don't speak for too long, because that's a tircha, that's a burden on the listeners. Rather, a little bit is good, because then people can listen. So this is going back over 100 years ago, before we lived in the 1-minute burst of inspiration generation, where most people can't listen to any drasha more than 5 minutes long. And the Pele Yoetz was saying, even in his days, I don't know exactly what short was in the days of the Pele Yoetz, but in his days, he was saying, the shorter you speak, the better it is. People will listen. They love when the drasha is short and sweet. It's better if people say, wow, he's so concise when he speaks. Instead of if they would say, he's so lengthy when he speaks. You'd much rather have people say, oh, we love his drashas. He speaks so short and to the point. It's great. And he says, and that's what he says, that the coinage that is, meaning the best currency in the world in Bezazman, in this time, says the Pele Yoetz, is those that know how to speak concise and short. And people say in a joking kind of a way, as it says in the pasuk in Rus, he said to the harvesters, Hashem yimachem, Hashem should be with you. Now, koitzrim can also mean not the harvesters, but those who abbreviate their words. They say less instead of more. Hashem yimachem, Hashem should be with you. Nothing else to say after that.